Hello and welcome back to This or That with Kobe and Jat, presented by Verizon, baby.
We're bright today.
We are bright.
Yeah, I like it.
Kind of.
Have your socks and shoes dried?
Yeah. From the pool thing last time. Yes, they have. It took a whole day. Let's get the slides up.
Mine were
no pool
never
this
dry.
time. Smooth LCS going on. Who has more pressure on them, 100 Thieves Quid or TSM Ruby? The thing is, I don't think Ruby's gonna get a chance to play. So as far as the pressure, like.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Ruby was the announced starter for TSM before the split. Insanity's been playing really well. We don't know if he is going to go in or not. I think because Insanity has been playing well, if Ruby goes in, he would have a lot of pressure, but I actually feel like it's kind of hard to get more pressure than Quid just because 100 Thieves is the most popular team. He's playing with double lift, and he hasn't won
More popular than Cloud9?
Well, okay, the most popular bad team.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay, we'll go with Quid. Next slide. Oh man, he is having a rough time so far. Are you on the Rich hype train? I'm on the
Yes.
Rich. I love Hots.
Yes.
I love Hots.
Hots Faker, you should hear Raz hate on this guy. Like, no matter how much credit we try and give him,
why
he's always cutting him down.
Why they Photoshop us over here?
Yeah,
Raz
that has to
should
be
here.
one big picture of Raz.
Yeah. Raz is over.
He's actually
lying on
been really
his bed
good,
in
even in the
corner.
losses. So at first, when Dignitas did the like Rich feature, and they had their GM Jayce pick up and like, he's the best top leader in the league, maybe even the best player in the league. I'm like, come on. But like, it's a little believable. He's been pretty good.
Yeah, he's been super good.
Yeah.
And even on more things than just Cassante. So like the...
It was our feature I just heard, not Diggs. It was about Dignitas, talking to Dignitas, but we did it.
I didn't even hear what you said. Let's keep going. Just smile and nod when he talks. All right, next one. More egregious to let through. Is it Nico or Rell right now? All the supports are all over Rell. Had some really big engages, but I still got to go with the Nico.
Yeah, me too, man.
When a Kennen minion engages on you, then it's also funnier.
Yeah, so yesterday, JoJo had Nico and Rell on the same team. And he kept turning into Rell, so it was like two Rells flanking. I think that was super troll. Like, I think he should just be, I think you should almost always just be a minion. Because
Or sometimes it's really good to be your own AD carry.
being invisible on the minimap is just so OP. You're like a little dot, like walking around.
Your AD carry will appreciate you if you become a decoy AD carry.
And
sometimes
the secondary carry.
Sometimes necessary for that. But I agree. The minion thing is super OP.
Yeah, I'm team minion. Let's go next slide though. This or that, more fraudulent Golden Guardian
Okay,
Penta.
let's review the Pentas.
Better Penta. What's with the negativity?
Let's review the Pentas here. Okay. Stick size looks pretty real, even though it is an AD carry.
Yeah.
Chasing down. What about this one over here?
In my opinion, Fountain Pentas are inherently fraudulent.
Or just more fraudulent.
True. Yeah, okay. Stixay Aphelios, he was down like 70 CS in this game to the enemy AD carry and still pulled it off.
And look
It's
at this.
gotta
He
be
snipes him with the Gale Force, then he's chasing down with Sniper Gun. Insanity's in his face. I'm going, Stixay is the better pentakill, so then that's the answer to the slide.
Yeah.
Because you're going the negative view, more fraudulent.
Shoot.
They almost got
It
you.
is gory
They almost got you with the trick.
It is this, yeah.
Next slide. Bigger ego. Oh.
Yeah, bigger
ego
wins.
win. Is it Ayla beating Vulcan? Or is it Armeo beating Pioshik's Kindred?
I mean, listen, both of these so far are really big ego wins. I feel like Ayla's career
That had all the
was
trash
basically
talk.
over in part because of the Vulcan Flame before EG was willing to just ignore Reddit and pick up this whole team.
Yeah.
Like, if Reddit was picking EG's roster, these two never have a job ever again.
Yeah, I think
But they're both popping off.
It's for sure that one, because that one was personal. That one has a longer history. There's so much more in the Ayla beating Vulcan one.
Yeah, but Armeo's gonna be player of the week, in my opinion.
Your vote has already been cast.
Yeah,
Also, I would say, though, when you let him have Kindred and then the team beats the Kindred by stunning him a bunch, he doesn't get his ults off, that was more of a team thing.
So C9 still hasn't lost, but they've only played 5 games. Will they go undefeated? Will they go 9-0? Or nah, they're gonna get an L to either one of those 4 teams.
And these are their teams that they have to play. This one looks really hard. This one's a little bit more shaky now after they did just lose with their Kindred. Honestly, I might, if there was going to be one to topple them, I'm kind of looking at EG now.
4 teams in LCS history have started 9-0 or better. Do you know those teams?
No.
Okay, 2 of them
Immortals, I know Immortals.
2 of them are C9 in 2020, spring and summer.
Okay, 2 Cloud9s and Immortals
And then the TSM team, but that was best of 3. So, like, it's unlikely. I'm going to say no.
So I would also say the other caveat that you could throw the curveball here. CLG was always the kryptonite to Cloud9.
And now they're NRG.
Beating them, in the regular season. Now they're NRG. They're about to play right now.
Okay.
Do you think NRG carries over that CLG kryptonite?
So far, definitely not. But we'll see. That's a wrap for this or that. Send your suggestions in the comments, Kobe. Go join Flowers to cast Game 5. We're done.
Yeah. Oh, you're not coming with us. Get back.
Hell yeah, NRG not bringing the full clown car here today. They're just ready to try to take on the best team in the league. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Captainflowers. Kobe's not here because he's still coming back from this or that. But hey, we're doing an LCS first here today. Last week, we ended up having a TriCast to close out the week, and we didn't mean to. Chat just kind of showed up, and we rolled with it. So now, for the first time ever on the caster desk for the LCS, we brought Emily.
Not at all terrified. Let's go.
No, this is going to be badass, man. I was like, we had a good time bringing our Analyst Lounge people on. Now we're going to do it some more. We're getting into the draft. Sejuani and Ivern and Rakan and Nico and LeBlanc all banned away. Maokai's banned out too. Emily, what do you think?
I actually really appreciate the Maokai ban, considering how I actually value Maokai really, really highly, despite any sort of changes that he's received. And yeah.
And the thing they forego with that is the priority on the Azir that it's really risen. With the Azir changes, that has become prominent, but I guess no first pick on it. Cloud9 go with the Vi for Blaber to have that guaranteed lockdown.
Yeah, which we've seen let through a few more times recently in LCS drafts. People have been kind of letting go of the Vi, and in response, we immediately have the Wukong, which I actually like, because I feel like a lot of the problems that NRG have had, when I think of like how good this team was when they were at their best in spring, and even a game that they had against C9 where Contractz was playing the Sejuani, which is banned, it involves Contractz with his lanes early. And I really want to see more of that from NRG, because I think it's been a winning formula for them. Ooh.
So remember back to last year, Fudge was the first LCS top laner to jump on the Kennen train when the Kennen changes first went in. And now with being able to do the static Shiv Kennen double lightning topside, I think that is actually a very dangerous one to give over to Cloud9. And they followed up with the Annie guaranteed engage as well. So C9 is all dive right now. C9 is snap engage. Already NRG have to be thinking about how can we counter some of that engage? How can we deal with, all of this forward-facing flash?
Well, they got Jayce, so he can hammer one guy away by about like 12
And it's Jayce
feet.
with a Wukong. Usually you want some AP jungle to go with that. Maokai, of course, is already banned, and that is kind of the premier one to go with Jayce. But already it's a little bit dicey here for NRG because it will be double AD there at the very least. They at least did get the Rell, though. Super high prio there. And we'll see if IgNar can be the one to mark the Kennen or mark that Cloud9 engage and try and get the jump on them instead.
And we've talked about how strong Rell is, and also just theoretically, IgNar is a kind of player who does want to go in, does want to create those engages. I also like seeing the Varus taken away by NRG. I think Varus is, again, another champion that really benefits from that static Shiv build.
And Berserker's all over. Cloud9 are all aboard the spam static Shiv train, so definitely a good ban against him. They, of course, already showed that they're willing to play the Zeri Yuumi with the static Shiv for the Zeri.
And both of those are up.
Well, I will say one thing at least for you, Flowers. The Rell does dissuade that because Rell's engage is pretty high pressure, and the Zeri Yuumi, especially now, what you're worried about is the early lane phase and how much pressure your opponents can actually put on you and if they can dive you. But Cloud9 have been willing to do it already.
Okay, Syndra's banned out, but that's not Zeri or Yuumi. Dude, you have to understand, I am suffering lasting damage in my mind from these
From
two
Zeri.
champions.
Okay, well,
Just when you thought Zeri was gone, the nuke build comes
Yes!
back, and you're just like, get this out of here. You mentioned the Azir prior to this, Kobe. It is really interesting to see it fall this far in the draft compared to the prio that other teams have been picking it, but it looks like that's going to go to Palafox, and then Jayce will be up top against Kennen.
All right, come on.
I would rather see the Aphelios. I kind of have had my fill of like the utility Ashe picks here. This is a meta that's you have such high damage potential from so many AD carries, and Ashe just doesn't have that same potential. And they've already got Turbo Engage on Cloud9, so don't really think they need any more of it. So I love the lock in here for Berserker. This to me is your best player. Put him on the highest damage possibility to go in with Kennen, Vi, Annie engage.
A double-sided sign? Man, some of the people that come here and make these signs, like there's a lot of like art skill in the audience these
Yeah,
days.
it's cool. It's
no,
great.
and you've got art skill too. I can barely draw a stick figure that doesn't look like a potato head.
Zven with the shout out.
Oh no!
Wait, it's more than just a shout out.
God. All right. This is what I get for always making fun of Zven and calling him my favorite Yuumi. This is the universe judging me.
At the very least, it's your favorite Yuumi. Even though you're disgusted by all Yuumis,
that are played in the LCS.
There you go.
Zven is at least your favorite.
Yeah, so I get my favorite Yuumi yet again. And NRG finishes out their draft with a Kai'Sa. I always like Kai'Sa with engaged supports. I think it's fun because she can dive in with them.
Yeah, and Kai'Sa's actually pretty good in these scenarios where both teams have hard engage, because Kai'Sa can play off of CC that your opponents land to dodge their engage while also joining yours. So if both teams are going for these big AoE snap engages and they're both landing CC, then Kai'Sa can try and jump to the plasma applied by your allies to the other side. And some of the scenarios you can avoid your opponents while also following up with your teammates.
All right, Emily, expert analyst, who won the draft?
Oh my God. I mean,
You can cheat and say Cloud9 because Cloud9 is the undefeated better team.
Yeah, I was
and then you're like, at the end, just say, I told you so.
Oh my God. That's not how drafting works.
Yes, it is. That's totally how it works, obviously. But, okay, we're about to jump into this one. Last game of week number 2. Cloud9, the only undefeated team now after Team Liquid lost yesterday to Dignitas, who are also now 3-3 in their own record.
And let me remind you, CLG was always the team to take that game off of Cloud9 when they were undefeated and when they were sailing through the regular season.
Who's that? They're not here.
Yeah, doesn't look like CLG to me.
Well, all right, let's rock and roll. Last game of week number 2, NRG versus C9. Nobody has been able to take C9 out just yet. I'm hoping NRG's got something wacky up their sleeve to try to make it happen here, and they are sending 5 top. It's the Earth start.
But it's already been warded
Yeah, they're
out.
going to get seen.
Oof. Sweeper did start here for IgNar, so they can at least get a little bit of golden experience for themselves.
Okay, all right, that's something.
Well, and they should be able to respond by getting some wards down, at least in NRG's bot side jungle here.
Zven going in deep.
That's a brave Yuumi.
Try and get that ward to
Yes,
see the
that's
transition from red quadrant to blue quadrant.
Minions have spawned.
All right, I was kind of hoping for a little bit more than that at level 1. Like, we saw the 5-man and like play top. We saw the counter invade in the enemy jungle, but nobody really sticking around for any extra spice. So I guess we're just going to get some pretty standard starts here. Both junglers going to start on the bottom side of the map, pathing towards that top side. Annie versus Azir is becoming a pretty common matchup, you guys.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think C9 did a pretty good job of also with that delayed ward from Emenes at Raptors. They should be able to spot wherever Contractz wants to be between the other ward they placed on that initial response to the topside 5-man.
Where do you guys want to see him gank first? Where should the pressure be here?
The answer should be, the Yuumi lane, kill it. But it's not going to be Yuumi lane since they're both starting bottom side here. You can have options sometimes with early Annie plays, but lane already pushing in against Azir, so and probably will just be the full clear up towards top side, probably trade the Scuttle Crabs, and then not actually have a first blood off of first clear and look for second one, unless something super spicy happens top lane, but I doubt that it will.
So with things just being kind of normal here early on, I want to go to something that we were talking about earlier on this week where a lot of the games so far in Summer have felt like really snowbally, really one-sided, like they're over super fast. Do you guys think that, what do you guys think are chances of this breaking that? Like,
I mean, my opinion on that is that a lot of the one-sidedness has been due to the one-sidedness of the teams that we have in the LCS.
Okay.
And Cloud9 are big perpetrators. So I think there's a high chance of a big snowball there. They're the ones that have had a lot of those stomps, as Blaber does find Contractz on the invade. But even with Emenes coming behind him, this is going to be a full commitment from Emenes, actually. He full follows Blaber on this trade all the way up to the Kruglets.
the Kruglets, is that the name?
Those are the little ones.
I've never heard that
it goes
before.
I call them
Krug.
Kruggies.
Kruggies?
Yeah.
I actually like Kruglets. That's a good one. And we also
What?
see, I mean, Rell is going to get spotted out here. IgNar is, but IgNar roamed up after FBI back.
Does some interesting things for your Scuttle Crab fight here, though. Because IgNar being on the support roam timer, meanwhile, Yuumi attached to her AD carry, to her best friend. No interest in roaming. Means that it should be easy Scuttle Crab here for Contractz.
It's one of the things that we were talking to Huhi about yesterday was when you're up against Yuumi, you want to be able to roam around, impact things in the way that the Yuumi can't. Emenes gets bonked over the head there by Contractz. He's not going to get a whole lot more, but just showing up, having a little bit of presence in the lane, helping Palafox get that shoved in.
Yeah, and it should be able to double Scuttle Crab since they've isolated the Vi to the top side. You can count Blaber's CS when he went for the contest, invading you and went for your Krugs, and know that he did fully clear out 3 camps, red quadrant, so he's going to be finishing up his blue quadrant right now, and they're looking for another pass.
Nope. Nothing.
Yeah.
All right.
Back. I mean, this should allow Palafox to get his reset off, right, and shove the wave, which kind of Emenes was able to get invade off of his mid pressure, and then Contractz kind of trying to course correct that for him, so he can back.
So, I guess if there's a play for NRG to be able to beat C9, I'm curious what you guys think. Is it just like scale around Azir and hope that that works? Do we need to specifically like shut down Berserker because it seems like it almost never happens? Like, what do you guys think the angles are here? Because it's a slow early game, man. 5 minutes in, nothing going on.
I mean, again, we've seen Contractz visit mid a few times, kind of trying to maybe get something there and or just make sure Palafox can get off a reset. I would have, and again, I think C9's response in terms of tracking him was good. I would have liked to see him interact with his lanes and maybe continue to interact with his lanes a little bit more. Because again, I think when, and here he comes down bot side, NRG has been at their best. It is when Contractz is going for some of these plays to try to get kills, especially in his side lanes.
Yeah, I always want to make plays on the bottom side when the enemy team has the audacity to pick Yuumi, especially after the last round of nerfs. But Cloud9 have been unpunished in their Yuumi picking ways. And it is fairly frustrating because Berserker is such a reliable carry for them when you transition to the team fights after he has one item.
Palafox wants to get the shuffle. Emenes flashing away. Now counterattacking with the tippers of his own. Palafox is going to be the one who loses out in this trade pretty significantly.
Yeah, at least they did get the flash, though, and that's what you're looking for with these Azir sweeps. You constantly go in, you trade your ultimate for the flash, then you're going to have a quicker cooldown on your ultimate so you can threaten those repeat plays. And the Wukong, once you get level 6, then you can actually have that kill threat, but Palafox takes another trade, so he's going to have to go back and use his teleport now. Emenes trying to finish up, pushing out the wave, while Blaber will take the consolation prize here with the dragon. Seeing Contractz go up to the top side and having Berserker come over and tag it. For AD carries, it stacks your legend, whatever legend you take, your yellow rune, to be able to go tag the epic monsters. And so it's always worth going to help your jungler at least a little bit. Go tag that dragon to get yourself a free stack.
All right. I mean, honestly, Aphelios Yuumi doesn't look like they're getting punished too much. They don't look like they're getting punished at all.
No,
kind of just
they're
having a good time.
They're kind of winning.
Yeah, this is not a punishment of any kind, except like There's none. Okay, Zven got punished by the turret there for one shot, but that's no big deal. Cloud9 up 300 gold with no kills on the board still. We're starting to get to the point, though, where level 6s are coming online, my friends. We already saw them used in the mid lane, but junglers are also approaching their ultimate point. Contractz hanging out in the brush here. Gonna wait and see if Blaber passes, but he steps out of the brush. You gotta be careful about that, Mr. Monkey. There we go. Jumps at him immediately with the Nimbus strike. Blaber's ready to fight back a little bit. Solo lanes, where are we, boys? Oh, we're up here on the top side. It's a 1v1. Slicing Maelstrom from Fudge. Dhokla going back in for a little bit more damage. Fudge with the flash. Both top laners at 100 HP, but nobody dies.
Not yet. Rell
Here's
is on the
IgNar.
way.
Oh, he's monkeying
nice.
around, and Fudge goes down. Nicely done. It's NRG getting the first blood of the game. The wave crashes into the turret right after. Fudge has no teleport, and he's still dead. NRG's loving it.
Yeah, when you can utilize the advantage here across the map. All right, we're not punishing the Aphelios Yuumi in lane, whatever. That's kind of difficult to actually do, and they keep on farming. But another roam from IgNar, this one allows continuation of the play. And those comms are set up ahead of time. Contractz saying, hey, I'm going to go for the invade. We're going to catch him on his respawn of his blue quadrant. If IgNar comes over, they can force the play no matter what. Dhokla fighting the 1v1 with Fudge, getting the flash, and they're able to get the follow-up play.
Yeah, and in response, Blaber looks like he's going to go for
Can you get back in time?
this Rift Herald.
Because it's going to take another eyeball pop before this to be able to finish, but Contractz is not going directly for it. Dhokla can get vision, but it's probably too late.
Yeah, no.
He's got smite, so it's fine.
Nicely done. Blaber fighting, but the problem is he might already be dead. It's hammer time, baby. Dhokla picks one up there.
Got flash, he doesn't use it.
1 for 1. The eyeball's still on the ground. Somebody pick that up. Okay, Emenes
got
picked
it.
it up. All right, cool. Oh, but now the eyeball may have been a trap after all. Palafox going in. Remember, the flash was used earlier, so now he's shuffled right back into the waiting arms of Contractz. Palafox gets the 3rd kill of the game for NRG.
The allure of the juicy Rift Herald claims 2 Cloud9 lives, Flowers. Jungler dies to kill it, and then mid laner dies to pick up the eyeball. Not too shabby there for NRG, getting a bunch of gold back for themselves.
Yeah, I've liked some of their responses. Again, like, I think... Here we go again. I almost thought he was going to get away with it, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, Dhokla did a good job. All he had to do was dodge the Q from Blaber. So him dodging the Q means he doesn't die there. I was saying maybe there could be an angle for a flash somewhere here. Maybe like, I don't know. He did not have mid prio, so it'd be hard to like flash back into the pit or something.
Yeah.
Because Annie was coming up river. But he holds on to it, and in the end, they get the extra +1 kill.
Ooh, Contractz has the ulti here. And this is what we're talking about. Contractz getting involved in the side lanes. Punish the audacity of the Yuumi. The hubris of Cloud9.
Yeah, the wave wasn't there yet, though.
Rip. You hate to see it. Well, unless you're Cloud9, then you're more than happy.
Also, you don't have too long of a window to look for stuff like that since mid-wave is pushing in. And once you get to your Annie roam timer, it can be very dangerous. So Contractz kind of waiting around there just to screen to make sure that FBI and IgNar can get the wave into the tower, allow them the safe push to get their recall off. And now they've got their static shiv. So FBI now set up, has his shiv wave clear on the Kai'Sa, and shouldn't be too much of a problem. Easy windows now for IgNar to continue roaming, see what they can get done in conjunction with the Wukong ultimate.
Conjunction, that's a $10 word. I like that one. I don't get to hear that one too often. That's good. Bringing a little bit of pizzazz.
Yeah, you know, I had to dress up nice for Emily being on the cast today. Bring out the fancy words.
Yeah. We're ready to go. It's the welcoming party. Emily noticed how high quality
We gotta
the
impress
desk here
Emily,
was.
Flowers.
Please, no.
Quick, Flowers, say something.
Onomatopoeia.
Nice.
There you go.
Yeah, I still don't know what that means. Contractz is going in after Blaber, spinning around with Cyclone #2. They mark him with the plasma, but Blaber's kept alive for now. Blaber getting the kill back on Contractz first, but the junglers are traded 1 for 1. Berserker wants to get away, and Zven's still attached. Dhokla with the flash into the skies to try to bring him down. Palafox gets him. There's that loot pinata, baby. Who's going to bring the bat? It's a double kill back over to Dhokla.
And then meanwhile in lane, I love that we pipped this up because obviously they dropped Herald at mid turret, so they are able to get some plates back for Emenes there. But again, I think the platonic ideal of this NRG team is making things super scrappy early. Like, I really do think this team is at their best when they are able to do that.
Completely agree, especially because their draft supports it. with the Rell into Yuumi and being able to roam around and force things with jungle there, punishing this bottom lane. Now they've got no sums, Captainflowers, on that bottom lane as we get another sweep from Palafox.
Palafox been doing a good job constantly going for these ultis onto Emenes, forcing the flash out of him again because IgNar was once again on the rotations, punishing the fact that the cat can't do it.
Yeah, we're trying to compile an essay of advantages over Yuumi. They got one kill on the dive already. They had multiple successful roams from the Rell, and we'll keep count of that cat body count.
Oh, I was gonna say, does a 2-0-2 Azir right now count as an advantage against the?
Yes, birds over cats.
Yeah. Oh, Fudge slicing Maelstrom there on Dhokla, but Dhokla should be able to get away from this one, I would think. Palafox and Contractz both coming up here too. The Eclipse Shield for Dhokla helps him here with a 1v1. Fudge gets him. Still drops because Palafox was there.
It's going to mean with everybody showing up there, another dragon to Cloud9 though. So NRG, they continue to increase gold leads and they roam to the top side of the map. But the problem with roaming away from Yuumi sometimes and investing mid lane roaming resources up towards the top side as well is going to mean that you lose control of the early dragon stacking. So Palafox does remain on the top side after his mid roam. It means Emenes will almost get the rest of this mid lane tower, but at least Palafox also got topside turret plates, and Emenes.
Yeah, he's gonna get this entire turret. I mean, I think the big thing, and one of the things that makes C9 so formidable is that they will see those windows, right? So like, okay, you want kills here, we're gonna push out the mid turret. You want kills here, we're gonna start early dragon stacking, even when initially it was NRG that had that push bot prior to that. So I think that is one of the many things that makes C9 such a formidable team is that they're always looking for these kind of small trades, even when their opponents are getting something on the other side of the map.
Yeah, and sometimes they're big trades too. With being able to get a whole tower, that does so much to even up the gold deficit there that they're facing. Now it's not even that much since Emenes was able to get first tower bonus, only barely over 500 gold. 2 dragons, you definitely like to have that any day of the week.
You guys think NRG's actually ahead in this game? Hold on, never mind. I don't even need to ask. They're already winning the 2v2. Contractz wants to go in and pick one up on Fudge because the 3v2 is the reality here. Blaber wants a little more damage, but there's another nice use of the Emperor's Divide. A double kill for Palafox and a 9-4 game for NRG.
Okay, now you need to push on 2 lanes. Try and get mid and top lane into the towers here. They're going to start up Rift Herald while pushing both. Looks like they give up the mid one to Annie in favor of actually bursting down this Rift Herald, and Palafox should be able to finish off that top tower. It does mean you're once again leaving Aphelios Yuumi alone farming on bottom, but here's the kill for Blaber. Your Q fully charged out of a brush is ideal start for a Vi. Then they got the ultimate, but Contractz is doing a lot of work here on the Wukong, fully channeling the ultimate, and since Palafox is here, sweeps him back, 2 for 1 in the favor of NRG, even though Cloud9 start that one out because of all the focus from NRG towards the top side of the map. But giving away a full tower kill to the Aphelios Yuumi is going to be gold that does go back and goes back into the area that you don't want it to. Berserker's pockets.
How do we feel about Everfrost Annie?
More setup for Berserker. Anytime you get more, yep, more setup for Berserker. Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of Proto Belt. It's more fun to use, but the Everfrost is very effective as well in layering. So we'll see about the usage this time around, but definitely does give you that stacking probability.
5-0 and 2 Azir. Feels pretty good for the side of NRG. Grabbing that second turret down there in the bottom lane, tying the turret count up. They're at 1.8 thousand, up over C9, 16 minutes into the game. They did lose those first couple of Drakes, though.
And if they do set up their side lanes correctly, there is a world where you do just constantly have Palafox and Dhokla catching waves and pushing them out, because they are both very formidable threats against these side lane turrets.
Do you think if Dhokla can keep running the show here in the side lane, like, because he's got the Hex Drinker, he's got the Mercury Treads, do Emenes and Fudge have an option to deal with this guy, or can Dhokla get to the point where he's just raid bossed here in the side?
Yeah, I mean, their option to deal with it is bring Vi.
Okay.
Because the extra investment, into the magic resist, Merc Treads as well as the Hex Drinker, like you're saying. But if you bring Blaber, then Blaber can definitely be the difference maker. I would definitely say, though, I agree, especially with outer towers down already. NRG have free push on both side lanes here, and Contractz is coming to cut that off. You know, he just hovers here in Tri-Brush, watches, allows Dhokla to get the early push on the wave, and provides them the vision that they need. Blaber's here with a Yuumi on top of him, but the jump over the wall for IgNar and the speed up here of the gate from Dhokla should allow them to exit no problem to get away from that guaranteed engage.
All right, I guess we're just chilling. 30 seconds till our next Drake. Palafox is up on the other end of the map. Does not have an Unleashed teleport, so he's deciding to make the long journey over to the Drake. NRG does not want to give Cloud9 soul point this early into the game.
Yeah, and the thing they have to utilize is Palafox himself. So it's good that you've got your eyeballs on him. The 5-kill Azir with the fully completed Ludens and a stopwatch to be able to make a big Azir play. He is the one that's going to come in and be the big difference maker. If you get your Azir ultimate, you can easily peel the engage here from Cloud9 too. So watch his movement. He's hovering down from mid lane. He should be able to push mid, get mid priority, and still apply that support for the rest of NRG to get their first dragon of the game, cut down Cloud9's options here.
Well, I mean, he might have the most kills, but when we look at itemization, there's only 2 champions on the map that have their second big item completed, and it's FBI with an Ashor's Tooth, and then Emenes completing his Rylai's here as well on the Annie. So a lot of extra lockdown, a lot of extra slows here on this Annie build.
Yeah, and he's going to be kind of scary in the straight up 5-on-5. I do like the objective work that Palafox is doing, though. He did push mid, hover for dragon, then rotate up topside to get topside wave as well, and get back to his split pushing. So he is collecting a lot and doing a lot of the wave management and setup here for NRG. Speaking of which,
Fudge is not having a fun time here in this 1v1 against Dhokla. The flash forced out. He retreats. Dhokla had his own flash, but he chooses not to use it in chase. As the rest of NRG is ready here in the mid lane. They're summoning up that Rift Herald.
Yeah, and this is a good play because obviously they want to try to get this turret down. Doesn't look like they'll be able to get it here, though.
I will really re-emphasize how big of a deal it is, though, for Dhokla to make that 1v1 play versus Kennen. Kennen with no flash. Now really, really easy for NRG to play a much safer 5-on-5. With Palafox being able to appeal for himself and FBI having the safety of a Kai'Sa ultimate to reposition as well. I honestly think it kind of does look like NRG are carrying on with their tradition of being a thorn in the side of Cloud9. We'll see about the first big fight, if they can execute in that fight. But the setup is quite good for themselves. They can continue to pressure these side lanes, get small advantages like burning that flash off of Kennen, and then rotating over for the objectives. Baron on the map now, so you can rotate your vision over.
So, are we going to have a game that goes nice and long, back and forth, or do you guys think this is going to be one of those ones where something happens in the 20 to 25 minute range and then kaboom, 5 minutes later, game's done?
I think it's going to explode.
Yep.
Actually, you know what's really interesting? I don't know if we actually have time to talk about this in the game state.
Sure we do, they're chilling.
Is that... Wait, they're going to try to go on Berserker? No, okay. They're just going to get this mid turret done. Is that Jat actually talked to some of the game designers about like, oh, why are we seeing this incredible lift in, or like so many shorter games?
Okay.
And it's the answer they gave was just that since the 1-2 spike of 80 items is so strong, that it's so much easier to just have everything explode a lot earlier.
Teleports are there for both top laners, so that little start gets checked. Cloud9 as soon as they find them on Baron, NRG scurry away.
So that was the small like LPL Baron attempt, right? Where it's like Baron spawns, we're there.
Yeah, they turn on the lights and immediately scatter, everyone out.
Everybody run away. But no, it's interesting. So compared to the previous, iterations of League of Legends, where the AD carry, even if everybody else is doing well, is not a character until 3 items, these new 2-item power spikes have just created a world where, hey, as soon as we're ahead, we're all ahead, and the game's over.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest kind of interesting changes that they decided to make was change the itemization in favor of allowing AD carries to have bigger spikes instead of having to rely on so many crit buildups. Because, okay, another Baron started in the dark. Will they turn on the lights again?
Well,
Even
right now,
are pinging it.
Okay, they see it.
Might be a little late now with those recalls, yeah. NRG say, we've made enough headway on this Baron health that we can even teleport and show you we're on it. We don't care. Nice job from NRG here. actually controlled play these last couple minutes of them pushing side lanes, slowly getting little cooldowns out of Cloud9, and then reasserting their efforts on Baron. Can they escape though?
Dhokla, he's all alone. He does have a tier 1 turret to retreat to, but it doesn't have a whole lot of HP left.
Alcove of Death.
Yeah, goodbye,
Yeah.
Dhokla. He's gonna try to do whatever he can here, but whatever he can is a whole lot of not. So Blaber picks up the kill. That's nice for C9, especially because this is one of the dudes who wants to be by himself in a side lane, so now you're not gonna have the Baroned up minions all around him, but the pressure's being applied elsewhere.
Yeah, taking that Baron off of Jayce is actually pretty crucial. The one thing I did want to point out,
Oh, Berserker flashing back over the wall to escape the Cyclone. All right, he's fine. He's fine. What did you want to point out, Emily?
oh no, I was gonna say they've expired now, but they did do a really good job of having vision in C9's jungle, NRG that is, to set up for that Baron as well. So it was really cool to see them check it almost exactly at 20 minutes and then go back and just recognize we have a really fast Baron take, we have vision on where C9 are going to be, and just go for it.
Uh-oh! He face checks energy. That stopwatch is going to give him a second to try to stay alive, but he drops. Emenes cannot bring the backup in time. Now a stopwatch coming out of him. Berserker is locked down and blown up. Energy are doing it. Nobody else has got it done so far this summer in the LCS, but Energy are splattering Cloud9 all over the floor. A triple kill to FBI.
I feel like these players always play their best versus Cloud9 specifically. The last like 5 minutes have been so clean from them compared to the rest of their games. I mean, the objective control and the setup on vision through this jungle, now they're not even done yet. Fudge is also dead.
What the fudge, man? He just walked up and killed him. A double kill to FBI. That's a delayed penta.
Yeah.
A triple plus a double. 3 plus 2 is 5. Energy just buried him.
And Dhokla wasn't even there. He's just pushing down mid turret. This is, again, the danger of having this Jayce Azir combo is that they should be able to just chew through these turrets.
Okay, Blaber's doing his best delivery of more gold
Wow.
into Energy.
Wait, you asked me, Flowers, if this game was going to explode and be over.
Is this an explosion?
As long as NRG do not, you know, pull what they did against IMD.
What, do we have an official term for that?
If they continue to play the way they have in this game, they should be able to clear it out.
Yeah, I'm gonna say there should not be an explosion.
Hitting any, no flash. Any slowed. I'll kill. Yeah. Actually, maybe not. I'm mid wave. Okay, we'll kill. Yeah, that's it. Let's go bot. Mid bot. 2 inims.
Yeah, they know how much they can take here. Everything is for the taking for NRG. But the thing we want to highlight there is the setup where they retake vision around the spawning dragon first, and then they're just waiting for Cloud9 to come back over. They've had really good control of the map that gave them some very prominent rewards here. Now with one inhib down, the bottom one exposed, dragon already taken care of, they can easily just swap to the other side of the map, push topside right back out, and continue the pressure here. They don't have teleports right now, so you don't want to mess around with bottom lane at the moment, but they should be able to stabilize here and not let anything go the way of Cloud9 as far as a comeback goes. Dhokla's got to be a little bit careful about pushing into the fog of war, and look at this. They're being so controlled. Grouping up, using their Scryer's Bloom instead. Dhokla not even going to expose himself to a possible topside trap. They know as long as they don't give up any free gold to Cloud9, they should be able to wrap this one up.
Yeah, and you see them setting up that vision net, like you said, as they're going to push out topside and theoretically take this tier 2. Where was this team before?
I'm telling you, they are so much better when they're just playing Cloud9.
Yeah.
They put on their... Wait, it's like me and Flowers dressing up for the Emily cast. They dress up for the Cloud9 games.
What if we send Energy to Worlds, but on the condition that all the enemy teams have to wear Cloud9 jerseys?
Yeah, I like it.
Does that work?
Then we win.
They can beat them. Well, Energy is pushing up. This last remaining tier 2 turret for Cloud9 is about to crumble. We got a minute and a half till Baron's on the map, so they can't really hard force anything straight into the base unless they really, really want to. They don't really, really want to. They're going to back away, plus 8,000 gold on these guys. 3 dudes on Energy have not died. One of them's the engaged pony. The only dude actually dying a lot is Jayce, and he's still crushing the side lanes.
This is such a perfect pick for IgNar, though, right? Like, I kind of wondered how he was even going to fit on this NRG team. And when I thought about it, again, I know I keep harping on this, but when I saw the platonic ideal of what this team would be, it was going to be a team that was willing to engage a lot. It was going to be a team that really wanted to get scrappy early on. And IgNar is perfect for that. And this is kind of the first time I feel like he has been really well coordinated. Again, like you said, Kobe, the way they've been playing around vision and trying to make sure that they always have a way out has been really smart.
Yeah, I feel like IgNar is the antithesis of Zven, where Zven is the Yuumi enchanter support, and IgNar is completely opposite. Contractz waiting in the brush again, but Sweeper Scout at least saves Cloud9 this time. And all you really do, it's simple for Cloud9. You just try and play defensively and feed as much money into Berserker as possible. You pray to your Berserker god and huddle around your turrets.
I mean, when you think about it, the absolute value of Yuumi is Fervor of Battle Leona. And that is what IgNar was originally the king of.
Because Yuumi is inherently a very negative value.
Yes.
Okay.
And Fervor of Battle Leona is Turbo Chad.
I like it.
And now NRG are going for the Baron. And by going for it, I mean it's already gone. That was a fast take. Yeah, C9 manages to grab themselves an objective bounty in the tier 2 in the bottom lane, but now NRG's all got that Baron again. This time Jayce isn't dead immediately after either.
Yeah, I mean, you could kind of see C9 capitulating to that because Annie was already pushing up in bot wave, so they're like, okay, if we can get, you know, a turret here, then regroup, go back to base, and get ready for this NRG push. Like, I don't hate it as a response instead of contesting if you think that you'll be able to out-team fight them in your base.
Well, the pressure's on. They've got the Baron wave here in the top lane. They've got super minion pressure back in mid. Blaber just jumps in there, scares him back a little bit. NRG knows they don't want to just throw this here. If you have one really botched fight,
they do know.
They know that very well.
They definitely know that they don't want to throw.
I mean, they know it a lot better than most do. As Emenes tries to go in on Dhokla, drops the Tibbers, uses the flash. Honestly, not a whole lot coming out of it, but Berserker's ready to follow up. He drops the Infernum ulti. Oh, Dhokla gets a kill on Emenes, but he's killed right back as a 1-for-1. But NRG's ready to jump back in, and Berserker's already down. Fudge with a slicing maelstrom on top of everybody. He's still got Zven, but that's about it. Knock, knock, it's FBI. They might have avoided that, but Contractz is still pushing. It's one cat against the world, and they do not care. Run away, Yuumi. Your hubris has been punished. And for the first time in summer, Cloud9 will fall, and NRG are the ones to knock them down.
I love how happy you are that Yuumi just died.
Yeah!
Like, it's just like, yes, like this should be the end, right? Like no more Yuumi.
In a world filled with injustice, Yuumi's death animation is awesome to see. And for NRG, you love to see what these guys can do, man. They find their win. It's 20-8. They're feeling great. NRG put the first loss on Cloud9.
And the great things we saw from NRG are, again, like playing around, getting their solo laners ahead, and then using them to push, right? Like, and their setups around that, I thought were really, really good. And also getting both Contractz and then IgNar and some of those roam timers involved in their early to mid game. These are two key takeaways that I think NRG can build upon, you know, as they try to get more wins. Obviously, they haven't had the start they wanted.
Yeah. They got to combine the aggressive tendencies of Contractz and IgNar
Yes.
into one strong force for good.
Man, NRG got to be loving that one. We talked a lot about how, you know, memeing about how they threw that one game against Immortals back in week 1. They want that one back. But getting this one here, Cloud9 was looking like the unstoppable obelisk towering over the rest of the LCS, and NRG just hit him in the shins.
I'm actually going to disagree with you a little bit on that. I think even C9 themselves would say that they've been making a lot of mistakes, right? And their biggest thing would be like, we really don't want to get complacent. We really want to make sure that we're still heavily focused on being able to win. Now we're going to see the final push.
So Emenes started it out. He flashed on Dhokla with the Tibbers combination. Then you look for the follow-up. Berserker's going to Gale Force over towards Dhokla after he hits this massive Infernum ultimate, softening the rest of the squad up. He's able to follow through. Boom. Gale Force into Green Gun, kills Dhokla. But then Contractz, as soon as Berserker steps forward, puts him in the dirt. Wukong Cyclone with the rest of the squad. Got a little dicey there, though. Palafox only surviving with 100 HP.
And here's the best part.
He's gonna be the one off that 100 HP.
I don't know if
He
we're gonna
barely
go that
recalls into teleport back, even though Contractz fails the W
are they
of the
slowing
wall.
it down for you? No.
Boom! Death
There you go.
animation zoom in.
Yeah.
The book falls to the ground. Beautifully done from NRG, man.
Even though they changed a couple of the players and the org name, they still are the thorn in the side of Cloud9. They still get that win to get that upset over C9, our #1 squad.
And it keeps
Thank
them
you.
closer to the middle of the pack.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, dude. Thanks for hanging out.
I was terrified.
Heck yeah.
I think I did mediocrely.
Exceptional.
Did well, Emily. Hell yeah. And you know who else did well? NRG. So it's time to join Raz and Palafox on stage for the Verizon post-game interview.
Well, damn! Victorious Palafox here. NRG, black and white. You take the win. How's it feel, man?
Feels pretty great to beat C9. You know, like after our starts. Yeah, we've been a little bit shaky, but great to see that we're not like awful, right?
What would you guess would be your win rate versus C9 in regular season for the past 3 splits? So this split, I will just say yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's almost 50-50, no?
It was, except for this win. Now you are ahead of
Oh.
C9. Somehow you guys are just the C9 killers.
Yeah.
What's the ticket? Do you guys just, because you're going up against tougher competition, generally speaking, because you've gone, it feels like you perform much better versus C9. Why is that the case?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure maybe it's just like nobody on our team wants to lose to C9. Like, I love beating C9 too. It's really, really good feeling.
That's all it is.
Yeah, that's all it is. I think also like, I don't know, it's the mentality, nothing to lose, you know, like go out here, no hesitation, just full fighting. Let's
You
get it.
guys definitely look much better, and it comes off, I feel like, a really shaky split. You're talking about that a little earlier on. You've actually publicly owned like your own kind of losses on social media. So could you just talk about like coming into this split, your expectation and how you've been kind of working on yourself since till this point?
So at least for myself, I've been trying to get like a more whole vision of the game, not just thinking about my own role, right? I think also team fighting is something that, like the communication in team fighting is something I've always lacked. So I'm just trying to work on making not only myself confident, but like everybody else confident as well. And I think like, I don't know, yesterday, a little bit shaky. I don't think we were confident. Like we lost a 4v5 at Herald with a Vi. And it's like, yeah, I think you could see it there that we weren't like too sure about ourselves. And then today, like, you know, we're all just like, let's go, you know,
Yes.
like, let's fight. So, yeah.
Is it that kind of, because I always felt like you guys were a pit bull last split. Not a lot of people had the faith, and you guys constantly had to like prove people wrong by showing up again and again and again. Was it that, do you feel like that was a mentality you guys had to get back because suddenly people were starting to be on your side and believing it? Or am I thinking too much on this?
I think you might be a little.
Okay, that's fair. Actually, more so now, a message to your fans. Do you have anything you just want to tell them? Especially after a win like this.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see how far we can go. Hopefully you'll support us there. So thank you so much.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate that. Once again, congratulations on the win. And we're going to be sending this one back to the analyst zone.
Yep.
Analyst lounge.
What?
Analyst zone. Bro, it's the lounge. We've been lounging for like 8 months, Raz.
All right, cool.
All right, well, we end the week actually, with C9 picking up their first loss in the hands of NRG.
No more undefeated teams.
No, there's tied now between them and EG with 1 loss, and there's a couple teams at 4-2, Golden Guardians, Team Liquid. We'll get into all the standings in a second here. But we got to look at the player of the games that we all saw. Go ahead, pull these up for today. Lyco Rice picking one up on his Jax game. That was a very impressive game. Busio, Rakan looking real clean. Jojo as well. Tomo snagging, I think, his first. I could be wrong, but I believe it's his first one. And then Palafox, huge game on that Azir.
Yeah, Palafox is Palafaker. I think Rich did pretty well in the dig game as well, but overall, this day, maybe a little more. Now, it wasn't more normal. Every day's been really weird. There's been so many weird, jumbled upsets in the LCS so far.
Yeah, and even that game for Golden Guardians that started us out, TSM was oddly close in that one. They were both 3-2 at the start of that.
Yeah.
It was like a game that they could have won very easily. They were playing well. So just things are up in the air from expectations other than a couple things like C9 are good. I think that's the most normal thing. Golden Guardians at 4-2 now, also good. Let's go ahead and pull up our Samsung SSD Fast 5 for the week. What stands out? I didn't look at this before. What do we got?
El Contracto with the jungle pathing to get level 6 before 7 minutes.
Turtle with the fast cheese kill in bot lane. That's pretty good.
I'd say Huhi with the great harassment in the support position. And Insanity. And Insanity just smurfing it on Graves. That must be a Graves mythic item because that feels like all he played.
Yeah, lethality item where you get to pretty quick. You push a lot on Graves. Makes sense that he's slamming that one. But he has been playing great. Speaking of TSM playing well. The case for Insanity continues to start, grows stronger and stronger. A reminder that Samsung has partnered with Sleeper in Fantasy LCS. You can now earn bonus points each week for correctly predicting the fastest performers. Congrats to those of you who claimed that reward this week. That brings us to drumroll. Player of the week for this week, presented by MasterCard, is Armeo.
That is
a good scoreline.
It's like you woke up from a coma and you didn't understand what's happening with the world. This dude hasn't been in the LCS in 3 years. And in his second week, he wins Player of the Week. That's amazing.
He's popping off. 10-kill Viego game was absolutely insane. Working together with Jojapun. We're talking about the stats at the top of the day. Super high mid-jungle, 2v2, prio, and there's a reason for it. They work so well together.
As a fellow jungler of days gone by, it's very good to play around your good guy. He's found the good guy on his team. His name is JoJo, and he just goes there. And they're like, you know what? We just get to win these 2v2s now. It's really fun.
You listen to the comms, too. He's going for the old juice him up strategy. Oh, yeah, JoJo, you're so much better than this guy. You're going to take him down. But he himself has actually been playing well, this time not just on supporter champions, but you saw the Nocturne, you saw the Viego. High kills in the early game as well. 8 kills and assists at 15 across the week. That's almost 3 per game. That's a very good number.
Yeah, I mean, I've been following this guy for his whole career, and he hasn't found the most success, right? Originally Grig, he was this super hyped. I'm going to talk about this next week as well, but I have a soft spot in my heart for him.
Hey, you got time.
Yeah,
right?
Listen.
We don't all trying to go home on a Friday, Jay. You got time.
I'll talk about it next week.
Okay,
super hyped. Jungle prospect for TSM back in the day. Had to play with Bjergsen immediately. Was actually more of a carry player, but immediately when you play with Bjergsen, you have to always dictate to the elder on the team. And I feel like that's the position he would get put in again and again and again and again. But he had these 2 years on Team Liquid Academy where he was really enabled to be the player that he wants to be, which is a little bit more like Canyon. Honestly, he needs to be really greedy. He's really good at jungle pathing. It plays into things he's really good at in solo queue. And now on this EG team of everyone trying to prove things, it does look like he's finally in a position to succeed. But at the same time, when I said FlyQuest has only been playing for 2 weeks, this is literally only 2 weeks. So it could still all go wrong, and I hope he stays motivated.
Yeah, I hope he stays looking good. Revenge as well has taken on like the Scion for topside, which does enable some of these more aggressive junglers. The whole team looking really good, which is why when we bring up the standings, you're going to see them tied for first with Cloud9. 5-1 for both those teams. 2 teams tied at third with Golden Guardians and Team Liquid. A couple teams. Oh, wait, it's 2 all the way. Oh. No one at 0.
FlyQuest is 2 games out of second last?
I was like, oh, look at this.
This is a disaster.
I was like, there's ties in every position. Then you get to 7. It's actually a 3-way tie at 2 and 4. And then FlyQuest is just still looking to pick up their first win. We'll see if they can maybe do it. What's their schedule look like next week? We got some easy games for FlyQuest, please.
Let's find out.
Let's give them some 2 and 4 opponents.
You know what? They're only going to play teams with better records. So it's going to be tough.
That's the struggle, man. Every week it's just an unbalanced matchup.
Someone's better than us.
They're playing better teams than them. Let's go ahead and look at that next week's schedule. They got Team Liquid, NRG, and Immortals. Obviously, Team Liquid's looking pretty good, but not unbeatable. Hopefully, we can see FlyQuest bounce back next week.
Team Liquid's on a 2-game losing streak.
True. Frauds, as JoJo said. JoJo called them fraudulent. What's the most hype matchup left? It has to be TLC9's a good one on Thursday.
TLC9 is actually a little less hype because of losses. We were kind of thinking they might be 7-0 before that game. I'm loving the C9 week on Thursday, Friday. I think that's going to be the big banger matchups for current top of the LCS after the first round robin.
Even Team Liquid versus Golden Guardians is another good one to continue that kind of top half of the LCS standings.
First 2 on Friday are good.
Raz is creeping behind the thing, and I don't like that.
Oh no, it's a jump scare.
Yeah.
He actually would have got me. I'm over here with you. Let's finish the day.
Oh, they ruined my troll. Anyways, that's gonna do it for us here. We'll be back next Wednesday at 5 p.m. next Wednesday Eastern Pacific, Wednesday. That's gonna do it for us here.
I'm guarding you.
But
Don't
we're
worry.
gonna head over to EG's Twitch channel for their Queer Women of Esports Pride show match. We'll see you guys then.
Raz.
Just anyone want a 1v1?
Oh, God. There it is. My ears are bleeding already.
Says.
No.
Gragas TP somewhere.
80.
Nice, Trevor.
We can fight. Yeah.
Giant dead, guys. Grapes. Nice.
Okay.
Gragas. All no flash. You got it. Let's go, Trevor.
Oh, Chime, you better give it on over, buddy! Stixie wrapping it up with a pentakill! Out of stasis, the resurrection coming on through for Solo, but he's in the center of a lot of red. A good charm up in the double kill from Quid finishes off Treats. Balulu, last man standing for IMT, and Quid, with everybody else, collapses upon him. Your own turret can't keep you alive. It's the ace from 100 Thieves.
Summit's ready. He's got that Gnar bar. He can go over the wall if he wants to go. Jojo jumps in for the Everfrost. Revenge gonna tank a whole lot of damage here with the starter's core's about to drop. Miyoshi dies before the Lamb's Respite again. He can't press R, and Team Liquid is gone. Evil Geniuses just killed all 5 of them and didn't waste any time doing it. Gonna keep looking for more. Rich, he popped the cleanse, but the dredge line's ready to follow. Rich wants to fire back a little bit further now, and Vulcan's gonna die. So is Impact, so is Prince. Dignitas going in, but Centauran won't be able to get any more. The Sun Disc keeps him protected as Tomo's ready for the chase. He's got red, he's got purple, he's gonna mow him down. Double kill back over to Aphelios, and the completed ace for D. So now, for the first time ever on the caster desk for the LCS, we brought Emily.
Not at all terrified. Let's go.
This is going to be badass, man. He drops the Infernal ulti. Oh, Dhokla gets a kill on Emenes, but he's killed right back. It's a 1-for-1. But NRG's ready to jump back into. Berserker's already down. Fudge with a slicing maelstrom on top of everybody. He's still got Zven, but that's about it. Knock, knock. It's FBI. They might have avoided that, but Contractz is still pushing. It's one cat against the world, and they do not care. Run away, Yuumi. Your hubris has been punished, and for the first time in summer, Cloud9 will fall, and NRG are the ones to knock them down.